Welcome back to Markdown Sitegen. We have a good video for us today. If you are new here though, we are PageKey Tech, where we're rebuilding everyday software that we all use for education and to take back tech. Okay, this looks all right so far, but it's looking a little bare down here. So let's add a footer. Okay, we've got ourselves a footer. It's not perfect, but it works, so it'll do for now. The main part of this is in base.html, where we added a footer div. Inside the footer div, if you enable copyright, it says copyright, fills in the year for you, and uses your company name. If you enable giving credit, which would be nice of you, and it's enabled by default, but I know if it were me, I would immediately disable this if I were using this, so I understand. But it's always nice to leave a little backlink to this project, so I threw that in there as well. And we linked to main.js. All that main.js is doing is when the window loads, we grab that year span and we fill it in with the full year. So that's how you get the 2023. If you watch it, it blinks. Not quite. It's really probably too fast to see. But here's the example config. We have a footer, copyright enabled true, company PageKey Tech, give credit true. So that's what you see here. And in the default config, also filled this in. So there's the footer. Now I know there's a way to insert some kind of variable amount of space here to push the footer down to the bottom, but in my experience it's been pretty complicated to figure out how to do that. I'm sure it's not hard if you've done it before, but I recall spending a lot of time trying to figure that out. So I'm not really too worried about that right this second. I'm just going to leave it how it is. All right, so next order of business is to add a blog screen. So we have the recent posts right here, but what I want is first of all something that says recent posts, and then a little button that says blog or more posts or something. And we'll have a blog tab up here, and that's where you can basically sort through page post previews. And obviously I'm heavily basing this on my existing site. It has a blog tab as well. It doesn't have a button for it, but if you click to it, you get previews of the posts, and you can hit older or newer. So that's what I'm working towards. Okay, so real quick, we have a see more button, which I styled up real quick in CSS. I just called it big button, threw some styles on that thing. And then if we click the big button, also I put this recent post header. If we click the big button, we just get hello world, which is right over here, blog.html. And we're rendering blog.html in CLI.py. We render index, archive, and blog all in much the same way. So this is really due for a refactor into a single method. But for now, we have our blog page. Now we just have to fill it out. Okay, a little bit of progress. We have the entire post for every single, well, the first 5 posts. It just prints the whole thing, right? And we have a larger title, and something significant in the code here is we reused something. We reused the little author display from post.html, and we basically copied that code out into a components/authors.html. So we can start doing this throughout to reuse components and things like that. Roughly, it's not React or anything. It's pretty primitive, but it does work, and we didn't have to retype or copy or paste all that stuff. So next up here, and then I'll probably be ready to call it a video next time we can handle the forward and back buttons. For this one though, it would be nice to be able to truncate posts. So maybe write a little intro, but don't include everything, right? So let's see if we can do that simply and easily. That's a lot better. No images and code snippets stinking up this view. How did we do it? In those example posts with all the extra stuff, I just added truncate here, and I added truncate here. And then in blog.html, if post has a summary, we use that. Otherwise, we just use the body like we were before. Now, how do we get that summary? We check if truncate is in the rendered post body, and if it is, we find the index of it, and we set the summary to everything from 0 up to that index where you first see truncate. So that's that. So we're making some progress on our nice little plain text blog here. I hope you're enjoying. If you are enjoying, consider liking and subscribing. Also join our Discord to talk about this project. Thanks. See you for the next one.